Hello. Eek, what the heck is going on here? You would think that I would look in the mirror that's literally right there before I get on a live. That would make too much sense. So today I am going to talk about hidden fees when selling your house. A lot of people get a number stuck in their head when they first call me or when I'm first talking to them, and sometimes they get disappointed to know that the number that is in their head is sometimes they have not accounted for this laundry list of fees that are associated with selling your house. So I wanted to go over some of those fees, what they are, how to calculate it. So if you're considering selling your home, you can kind of have a very educated breakdown of what number you're going to wind up at. So here we go. And I do this for my sellers, especially if they don't know about all of this. So we start out with obviously the sales price of the house. What I generally do is I'll do a market analysis to come up with what your sales price is, and I'll tell you what I really think it'll sell for. So in this case, I met some folks yesterday, and in this case, I'm working out. I'm not going with the highest. Gosh, I think I'm getting a cold. I couldn't possibly have COVID again. I already know that. So what I'm doing is I gave them a price range, and the upper end of the range was $375. $350 was about the middle. So I'm basing this net sheet off of a $350 sales price because I think that's safe. First thing, obviously, you're going to subtract is the mortgage, your first mortgage. If you have any home equity lines, anything like that, line of credit, etc., all of that will have to come out. So those aren't the hidden fees. Sales commission, that's usually going to be your biggest expense save for your mortgages. So sales commission, so hidden fees that can go along with sales commission are if an agent is charging extra for photos, marketing. I've seen agents charge extra for all kinds of things at the closing table. I don't personally do that, but everybody runs their business differently. So that is one thing, especially when interviewing agents and they're talking to you about commission, ask if there are any other fees, because people do hide fees in there. Deed preparation. This is one that sellers are usually surprised by. You as a seller have to prepare the new deed for the buyer. It is one of your responsibilities. So usually the title company that the buyer is using will do the deed. And they'll do it for around, this is getting worse and worse. They'll do the deed for around $150. So I usually tell my sellers just to have that person prepare it, unless they have an attorney that they really want. But generally, unless there's some special circumstances, preparing the deed is simply copying and pasting. So deed preparation, state transfer tax. Do you guys know about this? So no matter what state you're in, there is a transfer tax. If this property was in New Hampshire, which it is, the transfer tax for New Hampshire is $7.50 per $1,000 of sale price. And so the buyer pays that and the seller pays that. So here's what we do. Remember I said that the sale price is probably going to be about $350,000 conservatively. So the transfer tax, to calculate that, we divide that by 1,000. So then we come up with $350. We multiply $350 by the rate, which is $7.50. And we come up with, so if it's in New Hampshire, the transfer tax is $2,600 for this property and any $350,000 property. If you're in Maine, everything's cheaper in Maine. So in Maine, the transfer tax is $2.20 per thousand. So when we do that same math, we come up with $770 for transfer tax. After that, so far, hidden fees, we have potential hidden fees in the real estate agents workup. We have the hidden fee of deed preparation. We have the fee of the state transfer tax. Next is property tax prorations. This one always gets people too when they see their closing statements. They're like, no, I paid my taxes. So every town is different, but I'll tell you how we do it in Berwick. In Berwick, property taxes are paid 3 months ahead and 3 months in arrears. For instance, October 1st, our property taxes are paid. When we pay that in October, we're paying for, let's see, July, August, September, which already passed, and then October, November, December. So right now, your property taxes, once you pay them your October 1st, will be paid for those. So July, August, September, October, November, December. We're always paying 3 months ahead and 3 months in arrears. You're not paying 6 months ahead, or you're not paying 6 months behind. So what they do is they calculate the property tax proration to see if you will be getting a credit or you will be getting a charge, and that comes out of your closing worksheet. And the day of closing is a seller day, if that bothers people. So there's another hidden fee. A condo or association fee proration, same thing, calculated the same way. They prorate it right down to the day. In the state of Maine, if you are an out-of-state seller, so your residence is in another state, you get a 2.5% withholding tax. That's another one that sneaks right up on people. It's not super common to deal with, so I think sometimes agents forget to mention that to people. But if you're moving or you're buying a house out of state in Maine, prior to selling, do not change your residency. You'll get that money back because obviously you were a resident who moved out of state. You weren't an out of state resident with property in Maine. But it's just a bigger pain in the butt to get it. If you just don't change your residency until after you sell your property in Maine, it'll be a lot easier. So there we go. Water and sewer prorations. Same thing. If you're on town water and sewer, we get your final bill and that is prorated, and some people don't expect that either. And the final, kind of the final one, there's other little things, but if it's a multifamily or if there's an apartment, accessory dwelling, whatever, rent and security deposits will also be transferred. The rent will be prorated and security deposits will be transferred. People forget about that. Other things are if a lien comes up during the title search, you have to pay for that if it's a legitimate lien to get that off the title so you can sell your house. So if you have any questions about this information, send me a message, give me a call, send me a text, 207-251-9535. If you want a blank net sheet, I'm happy to send you over some net sheets. If you need a price on your house to kind of calculate what would you potentially wind up with if you sold your house, let me know. I can do a market analysis without seeing your house. It's just not going to be as accurate. But I have a Moe's sub with my name on it. I'm not eating this whole thing. And I think that 11 o'clock is feasible for me to be eating lunch. So I'm going to go get to that. You guys have a good rest of your day.